Greetings, welcome back, realvacantland.com with Luke Smith. If you want to learn how to make more money with less competition, stay tuned because today we're talking about commercial real estate, land investing for beginners. I believe commercial real estate land is a niche in the real estate space that's overlooked, that not many people are looking at and working on. And I think it's an awesome place to be spending time and energy and focusing in on because one, there's a lot of money to be made in these deals. Two, there's not a lot of competition compared to other land deals and other kinds of pieces of real estate. And three, the technology has been getting awesome, amazing, spectacular. Week by week, month by month, year by year, going back in time, it's just been leapfrogging. Newer and newer technologies, ways of looking at properties, figuring out the highest and best use, who belongs here, who could be using this property, who should be buying the property, what you could do with this property. The information is just going gangbusters, and with AI technology, it's coming through. It's even simpler in lots of ways of putting these deals together and making these deals happen. What is a commercial property? A commercial property is a piece of real estate where you take out the emotions. And so I've heard that kind of example come from a lot of people that talk about commercial real estate. People don't care about the color. They don't care about, which way the windows are facing with the sun coming up in the morning and the walk to the local school and the ratings on the local school for the family. And does my wife like it? And does my husband like it? Will the kids like it? And will the grandparents that are putting down the down payment be okay with this location in relation to their whatever, and all the emotional stuff that goes along with residential real estate? It's just vacant when it comes to commercial real estate. One of my friends that I talk to almost daily basis, we do lots of deals together. He's got a bunch of Airbnb properties, and just recently he was complaining because the neighbors are saying, not in my backyard. They're outlawing Airbnb in the area where he's got one or two of his Airbnb properties, and he was just really frustrated about that. And a lot of people look at residential real estate as a place to live and not as a business. I think it could be both, and there's a lot of beautiful things about both sides of that. But that's just the way it is in our society. A lot of people would rather have rent controls or, longer times that people have to stay, or all these things of not in my backyard stuff that doesn't happen as much in the commercial space. And when it comes to commercial properties, can I put my business here? Can I have my office here? Can I park my trucks here? Can I wash trucks here? Like on and on and on. All these kinds of businesses. And this is where people make their money. This is how they pay their bills. This is how they pay their mortgage. They make sure that business happens. They pay the rent. They stick around and they stay and they take care of those properties really, really well. And some of the times the tenants are the users or the buyers of those properties have such great credit ratings and names and backings that you can trust those things for a good long time. They'll put their name down, the value of your property goes up. They're paying the rents, they're paying the taxes, they're paying the insurance, they're paying the bills and maintenance. Sometimes they're even building the property for you. There's a lot of creative ways to make commercial real estate happen. Commercial real estate is where business happens, kinds of real estate. And so, example, I one of my one of my early commercial real estate properties, I was scared, and I'm still scared at doing deals, and as it should be, right? Um, I was sending mailers. I sent out a bunch of mailers for residential properties, and somebody accepted one of the mailers for, I think it was about $120,000, or maybe we offered 80,000 or something, but they wanted 120,000. And so I remember the $120,000 number, and this was a 5-6 acre property in Southern California on a busy street corner. And I looked at that property, and the 120,000 was more than I was paying for house stuff in the area. But because it had a busy street corner, I thought something else could go there. And this was commercial zone property, and so they could put a storage unit or a shopping center or a gas station or restaurants, or like all kinds of things could be done on this property. And so I was scared to do the deal, and I left it in the inventory or deals coming up kind of category in my software system for months and months. And I kept circling back to it. I would go do other deals and I'd circle back to this one and be like, man, I think that price is really good, but I don't know what to do with that property. And so I eventually got the sellers on the phone again and said, "Yeah, I'd still like to buy it, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing here. And can I have some time to figure this out?" And they said, "Yeah, sure, that's great." And so that happens a lot in commercial real estate. And so I said, "Okay, so I'm going to figure it out." And I started making calls. Partner and I were working on the property, called a bunch of people trying to figure out what to do with the property, and we called some brokers. And I think one of the first brokers we talked to thought it was worth about $1 million, and we had it under contract for 120,000. Like, wow, this is great. Called another broker, and he said, "I think it's worth $800,000." Called another broker, and they think it's worth. And this is a big broker that does lots of deals, lots of big land deals all over the area. Really solid name, really knows their stuff. Sold, lists and lists of stuff sold at big prices. He says, "I think it's worth $2.3 million, and I would love to go run with this thing." And we're like, "Oh, wow." Um, and I've done deals with those guys since. And one of the brokers said, 800,000. I got a client that'd like to buy it like right now, but they want a couple months to figure it out. And we're like, "We got a contract. We got to kind of move faster on this." And we didn't really own it, so a couple months to figure it out is like. But the other broker thought he could sell it for 2.3, and so we did a listing with the 2.3 guy, and he eventually said, "Why don't we ask 1.977 or something like that?" We put it up for sale, almost 2 million bucks. And we got a contract to buy it for 120,000. Like, these are some big numbers, and for me anyway. I don't know about you, but those are big numbers for me. And people started asking questions, and the same broker that had the guy that wanted to pay like 800 grand and take a couple months called back on a Tuesday. He called back on Tuesday and he said, "My client would like to just buy it cash if you could close by Friday, because like his 1031 is going to run out, and his other stuff fell through, but he likes the property and he'd like to buy it right now. If you could buy it right now, $600,000 cash. Can you close by Friday?" Like, "Oh, wow, that's quick. Tuesday, buy on Tuesday, sell, or buy on Tuesday, sell on Friday." Like, "Okay, we'll figure it out." And we did the deal. And I might have the story a little messed up, but it was less than a week, really fast, really, really fast. And wow, they knew what to do with the property. I want to be like that. And I bet you they turned around and went to the same brokers that wanted to sell it for 2 million and sold it with them. Um, but they had the cash to do it, and they had the knowledge, and they had the nerve to go figure it out. And so commercial real estate is about figuring it out, figuring out the highest and best use of who can use the property and what they can do with it. And in lots of deals since then, it's the same story of who can figure it out, who's got the highest and best use for that property, who's willing to pay. And it's picking up the phone and it's calling people. Would this work for you? Is this a good property for you? And talking to them about it. You can email them, you can mail them, you can reach out to them in lots of different ways. But a lot of the deals happen over the phone, and with relationships, and building relationships off of old deals, and just talking to them. So I think that's a beautiful piece of the real estate industry that has not a lot of competition, because the people that are good at it, they move up to buildings and fancier deals. They just skip up to bigger and bigger and better, and they leave the land, and they leave the desert square style of commercial, the land, the high traffic retail, or the commercial land, or the smaller buildings, the one-off buildings, when they could be doing the buildings with 15 different tenants, or the Home Depot size shops or something. So what's left in their wake is a whole lot of opportunity that we can take advantage of in today's markets. And I just want to share a little bit, and I'll try to keep sharing over time. If you subscribe, stay tuned, listen, ask questions in the comments below, be much appreciated. See you in the next one. Bye.